Will you people back in the back please go outside if you need to talk, because people are having a hard time hearing. Thank you very much. Sorry.
I love that, Bill. Let's step back up here.
Hey kids, get out of my yard. It's like Billy Reid at the Governor's Cup press conference. And I tell you, Billy, we have come to an all new low here. Not only are we out of the yard, we are under the yard. That's a cave. We're doing a network TV show from a cave here at Carter Caves. We've got some fantastic stuff we're going to show you today. Let me first of all show you where we are. We are underground in extreme eastern Kentucky. We're almost into West Virginia. We're about 185 miles from Louisville, 122 miles from Lexington, and we're in this pod of 4 really good Kentucky State Park courses and resort parks. Carter Caves and Hidden Cove Golf Course are in Carter County. Greenbow Lake is in Greenup County, and Yatesville State Park, along with Eagle Ridge Golf Course, is over in Lawrence County. So we are actually inside what's called Cascade Cave here at Carter Caves State Park. We're just a couple of minutes off Interstate 64. So with that said, let's say hello to Daryl Bird of the Cat's Paws.
My word of the week?
Yes.
Seriously? One of our first shows we ever did at the Yum Center was the day of a U of L basketball game. And the entire show, my back is to a stream of U of L fans, and I'm paranoid the whole time. There are bats 20 feet behind me, hanging, like 10 of them in a little cluster, and I can't see them coming. Seriously? Come on, guys.
Howie Lindsay, your word of the week.
Nunna.
As in
Batman, yeah. That is my son's favorite superhero currently, and he will love this show because we are in the Batcave.
And if you hear anybody in the middle of the taping and you hear a schoolgirl scream and run, Howie.
It's probably
terrified. It's going to be Howie.
They keep moving.
He's 6'3" and terrified of bats. All right, Red and Blue Review is coming to you from Carter Caves State Resort Park.
You rode a horse before? No?
Yeah, how about that? All kinds of things you can do here above ground, and we'll talk about some of the amenities above the caves when we come back here on the Red and Blue Review. But first, let's jump into it. Time for the lightning round. The lightning round on the Red and Blue Review brought to you by the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety. Remember, as you're on your way to Carter Caves, you are sharing the road with motorcycles. Well, the big man on campus for the University of Kentucky basketball program is really a big man on campus. Dakari Johnson, the freshman, a true 7-footer.
Dakari Johnson, I watched him 2 summers ago, folks, and I'm going to tell you, he had a knee issue, and I looked at him and said, I'm not so sure. And then I watched him a little bit later, and I said, wait a minute. And then I watched him later in the season, could not believe it. The line of improvement for Dakari's like that. He's a kid that will get up 6 in the morning and work out. He's a great student. He does all the things, and he wants to be better. He was on a team that there were times he wasn't getting the ball, never said one thing, ran that court, posted up. When he did get it, he did good things. He's got great skills, and he's 7 foot tall.
He's Anthony Davis in the regard, you'll never hear him complain about, I'm not getting enough touches. That's not part of him. Everybody on the team loves him. He's got that kind of a personality. And he's kind of the forgotten one. Everybody's all hyped up about the Harrison twins or Julius Randle. Don't forget about this guy. He had the knee issue, and he's turned out to be really good. He was in Chicago with the other 5 McDonald's All-Americans in this signing class. And the other 5 to a man said, I can't believe how fast he is, how fast he goes from one end of the court to the other. They were stunned. Pretty cool.
Unless you've been living in a cave, you probably know that the football player named Teddy Bridgewater does not want his name associated with the Heisman Trophy from the standpoint of a big campaign, but he's getting one anyway. ESPN is really hyping Touchdown Teddy.
Your last game, you were outstanding. All-State Sugar Bowl against Florida. That first pass you took a nasty hit right here. Helmet pops off. You finish the game with 266 yards, MVP. What did that hit do to you?
Well, that hit, it pretty much got me fired up. You know, I was already pumped going into the game, but being that it was on the national stage and the guy just creamed me, you know, it just got me even more mad. You know, really wanted to go out and prove a point, because we felt that going into the game, no one had given us a chance. You know, everyone had counted us out. So I just felt that, you know, that hit just woke me up.
We've got a superhero theme here going. We talked about Batman. Now let's talk about the Hulk. You don't like him when he's angry. Yeah. That just made him angry. And he went out and torched Florida. I tell you, that pass right there against Cincinnati, watch this thing. He doesn't put his all into this pass, and it goes 53 yards. That's his all shoulder. That is all Teddy Bridgewater. He's one of the toughest guys on the field. He's one of the smartest guys on the field, and he's going to have a monster junior season. His last season. I almost said senior season. Monster junior season.
Alex Poythress was the last guy in the Commonwealth to realize what a bad season he was having his freshman year at the University of Kentucky, but now he knows, and that's the good news because he's really the only guy who can do anything about it.
Alex Poythress learned a lot about himself and where he's going to have to take everything to be the player that he wants to be. Now, let me say that. That being said, he would have been in the first round if he put his name in the draft. He knew he wasn't ready. And again, he was being pushed by some corners to put his name in the draft, but he knew. Again, he wasn't delusional. He knew, I have to change. I've got to take this to another level. If he does and the competition brings out the best in him, it is scary how good he's going to be.
If Alex Poythress turns out to be the player we think he can be and makes his millions in the NBA, he better mail a Christmas card to Julius Randle every Christmas, because that is the guy who's going to bring it out of him.
If Teddy Bridgewater gets hurt, he is the franchise player. So does that mean if he goes down, so does Louisville's dream season?
You know, I think I know what's behind him in terms of Will Gardner. I think beyond Will is what I'm interested in finding out. I'm anxious to work with Kyle Boland. I like what he has. That's why, we selected him when we did in recruiting. I love his demeanor. I like his work ethic. I like his, he's a real focused guy. So it'll be exciting. It'll be fun to see where he goes and what he does with the opportunity that he's going to have. And then, the other guys, how far can Brett Nelson come and play catch up, because that's what he's doing.
Here's the question. What happens when Teddy's gone? And whether that happens this year due to some kind of injury, God forbid, or whether it happens next season, the question is who's going to take over? And that's the most common question around Louisville football. I think it's going to be Will Gardner. I think he's going to be the guy. We're seeing some highlights here of him in high school. 6'6", 225 pounds, 230. Very, very good player. He'd be the guy if Teddy goes down.
The Red and Blue Review is coming to you from Carter Cave State Resort Park. These are our digs, but let me show you what's above ground, just above us. Some of these really nice cottages. This particular one is located right on the golf course. So if you wanted to go on vacation and have a golf course right behind you, here's your opportunity. All of these are 2 or 3 bedroom, full kitchen, cable, and as I said, either a view of the golf course or the woods. All of that available right here at Carter Cave State Resort Park. Well, you've been to the Smoky Mountains, you visited the Natural Bridge, but have you ever seen Smoky Bridge? You will when we come back. As we head to the break, Daryl's going to tell us about the Cat's Paws Football Yearbook.
Do appreciate it. We are talking basketball today, but football season right around the corner. You need your copy of our football yearbook, 152 pages. Visit shopcatspaws.com.
Hi, Tim Fritz here for Tim Fritz Superstores Elizabethtown. We're hanging steel and we're making deals. We also have over 130 cars at our Radcliffe and our Fort Knox locations. Hey, Brian, tell them about the Hot 100.
That's right, Tim. We have over 100 vehicles in stock priced at $250 per month or less, all ready for immediate delivery.
Stop by here in Elizabethtown and see us, or stop by Radcliffe or our Fort Knox locations. You can go online at 765auto.com or just give us a call at 765auto because we've got an auto for you.
This is Chris with Boom Buyers Westport Village. Want to invite you out to check out one of our best-selling appetizers. This is the pretzel bread with our homemade beer cheese. Come out to Boom Buyers Westport Village today.
What's your idea of fun? Whatever your idea of fun is, we have a park for that. Kentucky State Parks.
Welcome to the new Bachman Subaru. We have expanded our Subaru service, sales, and parts departments to serve you, our customers. Bachman Subaru has our best ever selection of all the new Subaru models. or get a certified pre-owned Subaru from our great inventory. If you already own a Subaru, we now have an expanded service area for those few times you do need service. Visit us today at Bachman Subaru. Bachman makes the difference.
Bachman makes a difference.
To save more lives this summer, we've stepped up highway law enforcement. So, don't forget to buckle up, don't speed, and don't drive while impaired or distracted. Because this summer, we're going to have Kentucky completely covered. Blue lights across the bluegrass.
No excuses, no exceptions.
This is Chris with Boom Boss Pizza, Westport Village, inviting you out to try one of our best-selling pizzas. This is the traditional buffalo chicken pizza served on a gluten-free crust. Come out to Boom Boss Pizza today and give it a try.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
Welcome back to the subterranean version of the Red and Blue Review. This is a 30-foot waterfall inside Cascade Cave. We are coming to you from inside Cascade Cave here at Carter Caves State Resort Park. Coy Ainsley, the park naturalist. Chris Perry is the state park operator here. Coy, let me ask you about that waterfall. You don't know where the water comes from or where it goes out here. Is that true?
Well, we definitely don't know where it's coming from. It is an underground water source that flows all the time, which is great, but where it goes, we do know that. Maybe years ago we didn't, but we've done a dye trace, and it continues underground and reappears within other parts of Cascade Cave.
Now, does it matter whether it's the dry season or rainy season? Is it pretty much the same flow all the time?
Oh, no. Yeah, that makes a difference. In the spring of the year or after large rains, it definitely has a higher volume of water going over the falls. But I've been here about 12 years in some pretty dry times, and you always have a little bit of water coming over that waterfall there.
So let's talk about what actually happens inside the cave here. What are some of the things we're seeing here now, Coy?
Well, it looks like at this point they're going through the lake room of the cave, which is a really neat area. If you come this time of year in the summer, the water pool exits the cave there, and you have a nice still area, and you can see a reflection of the sky and the trees outside, which is very unique in a cave situation. But they get to see a lot of neat stalactites hanging from the ceiling in this area, and see James Branch flowing out of the cave.
Now, how does this room, obviously most of us native Kentuckians were obviously familiar with Mammoth Cave. Tell me how this structure compares to what's over more in the western to central part of the state. Are they connected at all?
I'd like to think they are, but that'd be a long passageway. It sure would. You know, we have some pretty awesome caves here in this neck of the woods, but as far as the limestone of this area, the caves are not quite as deep and they're not as long. Mammoth Cave obviously is the longest cave in the world, pushing close to 500 miles. Yeah. Here in Carter County, if you get a cave of 1.5, 2 miles long, that's a pretty large cave for this neck of the woods.
Chris, let me ask you about some of the things you can do above ground here. Obviously, there are the cave tours that go on, I guess, daily, right? You can visit the tour?
Cave tours are daily, along with other activities we got going on during the summer season. Here we've got, of course, our swimming pool. We have a 9-hole public golf course. We have a welcome center gift shop that sells various Kentucky handcrafts and other items. We have a restaurant here. We also have the accommodations, which we have some of the best cottages in the park system.
Yep.
And we've got a 28-room lodge, and you know, Coy and his staff have planned recreation activities throughout the week and canoe trips and such. I mean, there's something to always keep you busy.
Chris, one of the things I noticed when I visited the park was the number of families that were involved in the horseback riding.
Exactly.
And the riders were novice, Chris. These are not folks that typically ride horses. You can come here and learn what it's like to be a Kentuckian on horseback, can't you?
Exactly. We've got a horse stables up there near the campground area. It's right conveniently with our campground where people can just walk over and get on and take a 45-minute guided trail ride. And we've got a good stable operator who takes care of his horses and leads the kids around with you know, the helmets and such as that. And you know, we've got various miles of horseback riding. Not only can you come and do it here at the stable, but we've also allowed people to come in with their own horses. And we've got a day parking area near the campground where they can ride their own horses. We've got 15 miles or so of horseback riding. And we've also have a horse campground where you can come and camp with your horse.
Had an opportunity to visit the campground, and one of the things like how the campground was set up is obviously there's a lot of room in the campground per se, but right next to it was a little mini putt golf course. So it's nice little amenities right there.
Nice little mini golf putt course that's right next to it that campers can just conveniently walk over from their campsite.
Now, Coy, I want to ask you about something I visited here during my stay, Smoky Bridge. Tell me what I walked into that day. I was not expecting something as spectacular as Smoky Bridge.
Well, one thing that's kind of a hidden here at Carter Caves, because we're known for caves, it's within the name, is our natural bridges. We actually have 7 natural bridges within the park. Smoky Bridge is the largest limestone arch we got here. It's massive. You can walk underneath of it. The trail walks right over top of it, and it feeds right into our lake. It's a real neat scene. It's basically old cave remnants that used to be cave, and you've had collapses on both sides, leaving a nice, large bridge.
Well, if you're going to be visiting one of the state parks, we would certainly encourage you to come here. The vistas are absolutely spectacular, whether you're inside the cave or outside the cave. When we come back here on the Red and Blue Review, thanks Chris and Corey for being with us. When we come back, if you're going to play one golf hole this entire year, we're going to show you where you should play that. As we head to the break, I'll invite you to follow what's going on in Cardinal Nation. Howie Lindsey's Cardinal Sports Report. They'll have a full report of fall football preparation and play for the Cardinals as they look to defend their Sugar Bowl championship.